time. Let's give a little time.
First off, I want to thank Mr. Goodner. He's a role model. I look up to him, and I think this gym is a positive and amazing place where y'all can become superheroes. I wanted to remind y'all that anybody can be a superhero by wearing my Spider-Man shirt today. I've always loved Spider-Man, and it's important to always keep the things you love with you. Now, we talk a lot about honor and respect, respect for yourself, respect for others, and respect for property. In my dojo, and when I was growing up, and I've done karate for 16 years in my past, we also talk about seeking perfection of character. And that involves the golden rule. Doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, and seeking perfection of character. Trying to make yourself the person you want to become every day. And that means doing all the right things, being a good person, doing and showing respect to the people you love and to yourself. Now, I did American Ninja Warrior this year, as many of you know. Many of you might have seen me on the show. It was an awesome experience. I just want you to know that although right now you can't compare yourself to me, you should never really compare yourself to others. If you guys train, and if you live your life the way Mr. Goodner espouses and your wonderful coaches here and mentors, you know, you can become much greater than I can even become. You guys have a lot of potential. It's hard to believe, but if you go take baby steps, and they say, how do you climb a mountain? Well, you do it one step at a time. And it's important to have goals, and the whole time you realize that you're working towards those goals. And the hardest part about working towards goals is just taking the first step. But once you do that, you can become just about anything you want to become. And that's pretty dang exciting. So I'm going to be training really hard for American Ninja Warrior this next season, training much harder than I did for even last season. And I'm really excited to do well on the show. And it's places like this that keep you grounded and help you remember that what propels you forward is the respect for yourself, respect for others, respect for property, and seeking perfection of character. That's really, really important. All you guys have so much potential. And remember that no matter how good your body becomes, it really is just all something that's following your mind. The controller, the brain, is what kind of controls the whole situation. And it's where everything happens. It's where you decide to become the person you want to become the superhero that you want to be. Okay? So, yeah, absolutely. So whenever you're faced with a decision, you always want to try your best to make a decision that's going to make the most happiness in everybody's life, including your own, and that has the most respect for everybody, and that continues you on your path forward and continues you on your path towards achieving the great things that you know you can become. That means if somebody ever hands you a cigarette or something, you don't need that. That's working against what you want to become. When you're eating, you want to have a positive, healthy diet. You want to start that early. You don't want to eat, yeah, it's Halloween, we eat a little candy now, but you don't want to be eating candy every day and rotting your teeth out and you know, getting out of shape. You want to always be working towards the things that you can become. The super ninja, the superstar, the superhero. Okay?
Sir.
The body follows the mind. Okay? And so we're not only trying to work our bodies and become super strong and super athletic, but part of seeking perfection of character is doing well in school and trying your hardest to do your studies and learn as much as you can about the world so you can develop the tools to get stronger and to help other people. Because when you help other people, nothing feels better than that. And I'll tell you, as a doctor, I have a great time every day, putting smiles on people's faces, helping people, and that makes me feel good about myself. And some of my colleagues are here today, and I just want you to know that we're very lucky to be in a position like Mr. Goodner, helping other people. It's a wonderful thing that you can do with your life, being a teacher, a firefighter, a doctor, paramedic. There's a million things we can help other people. So, you know, those are some very important things that I constantly think about day to day, and I always try and keep ever present in my mind. And places like this are amazing, where we can all get together and have goals and reach those goals and slowly move forward together to seek our own perfection of character and to work together to become superheroes. So you guys are very lucky to have a gym like this and a community like this where that can happen. Not everybody has that. And there's even big cities that I know of that I've lived in that don't have special places like this. Okay, so you guys are very lucky to have the wonderful teachers and facilities that you have here. This is a blessing. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of neat parkour things today. There's all kinds of obstacles. I'm going to be playing around, warming up, kind of walking around, seeing what everybody's doing. And I'm also going to be learning because you never stop learning. No matter how good you think you are, you never stop learning. I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm pretty good. I'm not the best, but I'm getting pretty good. And I'll tell you, it's because I keep trying to find what I'm not good at, and I keep trying to work on my weaknesses. Because your weaknesses will slow you down. You know, they say a team is only as strong as its weakest link. Well, you are a team of all your abilities, of all your smarts, of your muscles, of everything. And the weakest link is what's going to slow you down. So if you're weak at endurance, or you're weak at power, or you're weak at technique, those are the things you have to focus on. Let's say you're weak at school. Well, if you're weak at your scholastics, you know, it doesn't matter how good you are in here, your life might not be on the best direction it can be, and you want to work on your scholastics. And scholastics means your grades and study. Everybody thinks, oh, math's not important, I never use it. And guess what? I don't really use too much math. I use a little bit. But the whole point of all the classes you take, here, everywhere else, math, English, physics, everything, is to learn how to become a better learner. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so math, maybe it's not fun, but as you get better and better at it, it is fun, and you're always learning how to be a better learner. And that helps you seek perfection of character. It helps you be able to help all other people, and that's exciting. So you guys psyched?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, well, I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Goodner.
Actually, anybody have any questions about Ninja Warrior?
Oh, yeah. Ninja Warrior, anything else?
Yeah, actually, everybody, go ahead and sit down, right? You don't have to take a
Yes,
deep
sir.
breath. Sit down, relax.
And tell me your name when you're about to give me your questions. So go ahead. Tyler, I was. Jesse and I became friends, and we had a friendly rivalry. I'm a rock climber mostly, and he's a world-class parkour athlete. And him and his wife they're really neat people. He's a really nice guy. And he would laugh because I would stumble, and some of the things that are so easy for him were difficult for me. And then, of course, being a climber, I had more upper body. And so we learned from each other. And Jesse LaFleur is a great guy. Yeah, he's a neat guy. Tyler, I'll tell him you say hi. Probably not. He doesn't live anywhere near here. If he comes out to visit, I definitely will. But he's a pretty busy guy. You know, I doubt that he's going to be able to come here. But if he's ever in the neighborhood, I will certainly bring him by, for sure.
Anybody else have questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. Anything about Ninja Warrior?
Ninja Warrior, life, anything.
What happens in
Oh, what's your name? Steven, I'm Noah. So in Ninja Warrior, they go around, they have 4 cities, LA, Miami, Baltimore, and Denver, and they take hundreds and hundreds of athletes, and they run them through a crazy obstacle course. For example, run across that, do this, swing, jump, run those boxes. They have them do everything. Whoever gets the fastest times and doesn't fall, they take the top 15 from each city and they go to Las Vegas. And in Las Vegas, they have a big monster obstacle course, and they run all the top athletes on that big monster obstacle course. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
I'm Aiden, and it's probably common. No one actually finished American Ninja Warrior.
Correct, Aiden. Nobody has finished it yet. The American course is the toughest course in the world. Nobody's finished it. My best friend, Brian Arnold, made it the furthest this year. And next year, we're going to try and take it down.
Jordan, how much money do you get?
Well, Jordan, if you win, you get $500,000. However, the money is not the reason most everybody is doing it. And a lot of people would give a good amount of that money to charity or to a gym like this. You know, money is a little bit of a trap, okay? Money is a motivating factor for a lot of people, but unless you can use money for something good in this world, like helping other people, then it gets put in the bank and you worry about it. If you have enough money for dinner and to pay for, you know, food and a place to live and a present every now and then for your loved ones, then you're rich. As long as you're spending less than you make, then you're rich. So the money really isn't that big of a deal, but they do give you $500,000. Yes.
What would you say is your strength and your weakness? How do you want to go about improving on your weakness?
Absolutely. So my personal strength, I would actually say is mental, is psychological. All the things that Mr. Goodner's talking about, and all those beliefs in yourself and those goals, I'm a very, very, very confident person. And I partially have to be for my job. I do save people's lives in the emergency department, and I have to keep calm and cool and collected when people are having trouble. So my greatest strength is my confidence. However, I would love to be stronger and have better technique, and those are some of my weaknesses. Endurance technique. I was never a gifted athlete. I was a little bit pudgy when I was younger. I did wrestling and gymnastics in high school, and I was never the best athlete. I wasn't even very average. I was maybe a little below average. But I've worked hard my whole life, and I'm 38 years old now, which seems super old, but I can do tons of things, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And, I don't see the end coming anytime near, but you can keep building and getting stronger. It's not like you really have a time. Well, we all have time, but, it's not like you have to do it all before you're 20. So it's a great question. I definitely have strengths and weaknesses like everybody, and some people can easily do one-arm pull-ups by their pinky. My best friend Brian can. I can't do that. I'll never be able to do that. I don't even think I can do a one-arm pull-up right now. But, I'm working on it constantly, working on my strengths, working on my weaknesses more than my strengths. But your strength is something that you enjoy, and your weakness is something that you work on. So that's a great question, Jeff. Who else had questions? Yeah.
Can you do basketball blackout?
What's that?
Can you do a basketball blackout?
Yeah.
You can?
Yes. Yeah. You get to run on curved walls quite a bit. It's pretty cool, and that's one thing that Jesse LaFleur is amazing at. And that's one of my weaknesses, was running on walls and stuff like that. Let's give some other people a turn for a second. Yes, ma'am.
What would you say your hardest obstacle in the world?
Well, I fell on the salmon ladder a couple times, and I don't think it was that hard, and I should not have fallen. But obviously that was the hardest one, which is where I fell. I successfully completed all the other ones. So I would say that I need to work on that a little bit. Probably the jumping spider was, I was scared I was going to fall on that. Ninja Warrior is hard because you only have one attempt, and it's lights, camera, action. It's 4 a.m. They do it in the middle of the night, and you only have one chance to do all these things correctly. So, imagine if someone said, you got to walk across that slack line on your first try, and then they take out the camera, and everybody's standing around you. Come on, you can do this. Well, that can be a little bit stressful. For me, that's where my confidence comes in. I say, okay, and I'm happy, and I go ahead and do it. Whereas that might make somebody very nervous, and when you're nervous, that can kind of mess up what you can do. So it's hard. That's hard to learn. Anybody else? Yes. right? I appreciate that.